Okay, so, there's weird stuff that happens in the world all the time. And with that weird stuff, you have to take it in stride. Sometimes you can handle it better than others, and there are times where it's just so completely unbelievable that you thought that you were in a dream. And this is one of those weird things. Okay, so a transgender man who is now a woman, so her name is Stephanie, decided to go ahead and, be a 6-year-old. Yeah, so what ended up happening was he decided to go ahead and live with his, with some random people, which it sounds like squatting. It pretty much is squatting. He decided to go ahead and live with some random people. Go ahead, live with them, claim them as his adopted parents, literally have no, and I mean no, freaking connection to his wife, his previous wife, and his 7 children, and go ahead and live his life as a 6-year-old. I am not lying here. This actually happened. There's even an interview where this reporter actually enables his behavior in the interview. Enables his behavior. There is literally some of the most ridiculous things out there. Okay, the world, the internet, pretty much society as a whole, there's plenty of weird shit that exists. It's out there. You just gotta look. This is one of those things that just kind of happened to fall in our faces, and it just kind of happened right in front of us. So this is one of those very rare things that will happen. A man decided to, instead of just remaining, an adult at 50 years old and, support his kids, which I can only hope he will, and maybe this whole entire 6-year-old thing, he'll probably just forget about it and maybe just kind of move on with his life. But I can only hope that he will support his 7 kids that he had with his wife, because in reality, this is like psychologically, dysfunctional. It really is. It's dysfunctional in terms of, psychological behavior. I mean, the guy is 50 years old, for Pete's sakes, and it looked like even if he weren't transgender or is transgender, he probably still could have had a decent life. The guy could have had a decent life, but instead he decided to go ahead and play 6 years old, and apparently will. I can't necessarily give you guys a good example of this situation, but I will say it's like a dream. It's one of those weird things you see in a dream. It's not real, right? No, it's not real. But then when you come to terms with it, and then you actually open your eyes up and, just say, oh, well, it's a dream, right? You look at it, and then it turns out to be, no, wait, it's real, and I'm looking at I can't stand the sight of it. Just to let you guys know, I don't give a shit if he's transgender, I don't give a shit if he's a woman, I don't give a shit if he wears high heels or whatnot, I don't care. What I'm focusing on right now is the fact that he is pretending to be a 6-year-old. A 6-year-old. He's not like playing with kids. No. He's not like some sort of, he's not playing with kids. He's not just pretending to be 6 years old so he can play with, his kids that, he had 7 of. No. He's playing with some random kids from some random people that he's living with, that he was, quote unquote, adopted from, or adopted. Yeah, he was adopted by these people. But in reality, I would probably call it squatting, because it's already weird enough. Because on a legal standpoint, he probably should be in, getting some sort of psychological help. He would probably be labeled as perhaps squatting. I can only hope that the people he's living with are just taking him in because he's just... He needs help, and maybe they're kind of just saying that he's living there just so they can help him get out of this phase. But from what I heard in this interview, the interviewer was enabling him. The people that he's living with is enabling him, and the guy freaking plays with dolls and actually acts and behaves like a 6-year-old. You can't scream world star just hard enough to just convey this weird shit. You just can't. This is one of those weird things that you would see on frickin' a world star hip-hop Vine. It's like, what? What is this? What is this? Please tell me, sir. What is this? It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. The transgender part, I don't give a shit about. It's the fact that this guy's pretending to be a 6-year-old. 6-year-old. The guy is literally acting like a 6-year-old. And it's like everyone's just like enabling his behavior, and no one's doing anything about it. He has completely, I don't even know if he ditched her, but completely disconnected made a complete and total disconnect with his wife and 7 kids. So it's like he didn't even mention them in the freaking interview. He's like all focused on the people that he's living with that quote-unquote adopted him, a 50-year-old man. And there were images that I wish I didn't see. Oh god, they were just not... Oh boy. So, oh god. I couldn't... Oh, wow. I just can't say it. I felt depressed as fuck when I saw it. Like, literally depressed as fuck. Like, I wasn't sad for him. I wasn't just sad for him. I was sad for humanity, because then there's a sign that, well, maybe there are more people out here like this. Maybe there are more people out here that will do something like this. Because usually when you find one person, there's always someone else who's very much like that person. You know how like attracts like? There are some very rare occasions where positive attracts negative and somehow it coexists together. Well, I'm sure it's possible. But like attracts like. And then when you find someone like this, you're bound to find someone else that's like this. And I can already see the news headlines. I can see more people doing this and actually doing something like this. It's not the transgender part. It's the whole part of being a literal 6-year-old again. Or a 2-year-old, whatever freaking age number that they decide to use. I can guarantee you we're going to see a lot more people doing this. And it's going to be weird. 2016 is going to be weird, really weird. It's going to be weird. It's going to happen. I can guarantee you 100% that there's going to be a movement created out of this. It's going to happen, and when it happens, I am literally just going to look at humanity, say, what the fuck is going on? Why is everyone so stupid? Why is the freaking world pretty much at its freaking end right now? And essentially hit my head against a desk and just pretend that none of it happened. Yep. So 2016, we're going on to 2016, and the world just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. Like I said, my issue is not the transgender part. He can be a man, could be a woman could be a man, he could be androgynous. I don't care what you are, I don't care what gender you are, I don't care what color you are. It's just this one psychologically dysfunctional thing that has me just weirded out right now. See you guys later.